So now with our drum machine loaded, let's figure out how to make a drum beat. I want to make a drum loop, so having the arranger timeline visible is not really going to help me that much. I'm going to go ahead and hit this button up here so I can see my clip launcher, and I'm going to hide the arranger timeline for now. Now, there's a few different ways I can go about doing this, and that's going to be a common theme as we learn more about Bitwig. It's extremely flexible, a lot of different ways to approach it and kind of tailor your workflow. I want to create a drum beat, and I'm going to need to put notes inside of a clip in order to do this. So if I double click here, in this clip slot, I've just created a note clip. And inside of this note clip, if I double click again, now at the bottom of the screen, I'm seeing the note editor. I'm going to expand the note editor. Since I have a clip now, I can do that by hovering here, clicking and dragging up. And on this instrument track, the instrument that I have is a drum machine. So on the left side of my note editor, I can see all of the different sounds that are in my drum machine. The reason I'm seeing this is because this button right here is selected. So this is going to show me any sounds that are named that are loaded into my drum machine. Next to that, we have this button. And if I click this, this is going to show me a piano roll. This will be more useful when I'm using a synth, which we will get to a little bit later. But let's go back here. All right, so I have the sounds for my drum machine. There is a speaker icon next to each sound. If I click on this, I can preview all those different sounds. And the inside of our clip is here. I double clicked in this clip slot to create a blank note clip. And when you do that, the default length of that note clip is 1 bar. So I see 1.1, that's the beginning of the bar, the first bar, first beat. 1.4, that means that's the first bar still in the fourth beat. And by the time we get to 2.1, I see this loop brace here is only looping for the first bar. I can also see below that loop brace, there's this little arrow here, and that's the end point. If I deactivated the loop, I can do that in the inspector panel. I'm going to go ahead and just turn the loop off. Now I can see these 2 arrows. That's my start point and my end point. Now those are active. So again, if I deactivated the loop, this would only play for 1 bar. It gets here and then it would stop. I want this to loop though, so let me turn that back on. So I want to put some notes inside of this clip. Each line inside of the clip right now, as I'm moving forward, you can see that my little cursor snaps to these lines. Each one of these lines represents a 16th note. How do I know that? Because in the lower right-hand corner, that's what it says, 1/16. If I need to change the resolution of the note clips grid, I can click in here and I can choose to change that. I can hover my mouse right here, move this up, move it down. And as I do that, we can see more lines are added and taken away from the beat grid. 16th note should be fine. So I'm going to leave that alone. And there we go. All right, so let's program a drum beat. What I need to do is enter some notes into this clip. To do that, I can use my pointer tool. If we look here, we have different tools that we can select, and the default tool is the pointer tool. And if I need to change my tools, we have shortcuts here. So the first 5 numbers will bring us to the different tools. So I can either use my pointer tool. If I do that, I can double click at certain points in this clip to place the sound. Let me go ahead and launch the clip right now. So the first sound is a kick. I double clicked right here, the first beat of the first bar, and it's placed a kick right there. Now, if we're working in a 4/4 time signature and we're trying to make something that's more sort of traditional kind of club music or traditional dance music, whatever it is, general drum theory, we normally place the snare on the 2nd and 4th beat of the bar. So 1.2 is the 2nd beat. I see this, I think that's snar. I'm going to double click here. And I'm going to go to 1.4 and I will double click here. Now I mentioned there's more than just the pointer tool. If I go back over here to my tool selector, we also have the pen tool. If I choose the pen tool, I don't need to double click. I can simply click once and start to draw these notes in wherever I choose. I'm going to add a few more kicks here. All right, so we got a base little beat there. I see we have a clap here as well. Okay. So we're able to draw these notes in, and when we draw the notes in, the notes snap to specific points in our grid.